Prepare for battle.
And then there was two, that's right, Capitalist, joined by Cinderin here. We kicked Draskell out because we felt like his performance really wasn't up to par.
He was too old.
Yeah, that's actually entirely it. We don't want to be ageist or anything, but that's actually the truth. So we're going to get into our next game. It's going to be Team Liquid, 4C and L. Everyone's siding with 4C and L's draft. And I'm with them. I don't really like the Silencer support, but I will give credit where credit's due. Silencer support is a good counter, I feel, to the Winter Wyvern and the potential initiation of the Slardar. I particularly feel it's really great versus Wyvern.
It's a way for them to solve the problem that can arise. It's also good against Shackle Shot, right? If you land one of those incredible two-man Shackle Shots, usually it sets you up for a really bad team fight, but you can just use Global Silence as a way of securing yourself, at the very least, a disengage for the follow-up. Now, the weakness of the hero is, I think, that hero is not good against Night Stalker in the first few nights. And Bambo, if he gets off to a good start, he could really take advantage of the fact that Kuro is a low HP support with no mobility. Yes, now that Last Word is a slow, I actually think it's worse than if it were a disarm against Night Stalker now. So it's going to be pretty awkward. As far as the draft goes, I don't know if I have a clear favorite overall. I think Liquid's draft definitely has quite a few advantages when it comes to split pushing and when it comes to just finding pickoffs. They have a lot of flexibility where Clockwork Hookshots in the global, they have a kill, more or less. It's great against Dazzle. Both Dazzle and Wyvern are really shut down by global.
Yeah, absolutely, especially since normally the Wyvern, and I would say to a certain extent the Dazzle, are actually okay with dealing the Clockwork, trying to pick them off. Thoxa just gets the free kill in the ward and will back himself up. Jarek's actually spending more time in the middle lane, which does give a bit more credence to the concern about what about 6E Bambo, though the Silencer is a great harassing hero in the start, but Kuro's really going to have to put in a lot of effort to make sure that 6E Bambo just doesn't get anything in this lane, because I feel that everyone, the analyst asked, you said it, if 6E Bambo gets off to a good start in the first, 1 or 2 night times, he's just going to run over this game. And you could already see he's getting a lot of damage onto Kuro here with Creep Wave right next to him. He's not going to be able to obviously commit for the kill, but this will make Kuro a lot more hesitant in aggressively harassing out Bambo.
Yeah, I think if Bambo had a Mango there, he might have gone for the kill, but obviously you can't have... Well, you can start with Boots and Mango, but then you have no other regen, so that would have been a very risky build here. But the one thing he does accomplish is that he distorts the creep equilibrium quite a bit, so he almost gets his level 2. But Kuro's still playing this position the way he should. He knows he doesn't win the fist fight with Bambo, but he still has to stand there and tank up some of the damage, so Bambo can't go for the side pull.
Jarek spending a lot of time in this middle lane. Now we're seeing these Banes do this quite a bit with the lowered mana cost of level 1 Brain Sap. It's such an efficient ability to trade hits, and a lot of Banes you're going to see will rotate into that middle lane to begin with, just to do kind of similar to what a Wyvern does, put pressure, clear space for your Queen of Pain to get farmed.
Well, I think so far so good, really, for both teams. The biggest threat to 4CL's lineup is if Bambo gets shut down entirely, but as long as he can manage to find level 3 before the first nighttime, maybe even level 4 if he does very well up there, I think they're pretty happy. And at the same time, the mid lane trade-off definitely favoring Liquid so far.
Jarek's copping a little bit of unnecessary damage on that one tower, but still, said keeping the Wind Ranger back. See the reflection in the CS. 10 and 5 on the Queen of Pain compared to 6 and 2 on Pycat.
To funnel himself out some regen.
You can see Fata's just playing this very aggressively. He is a very competent player when he gets a little bit of ahead in the lane. He just really does a good job at pressuring his opponents. Bambo now in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
I think
the
this is
body
first blood.
block. Jarek's actually doesn't quite get it. He could have blocked the staircase there, but they're still going to get the Nightmare. They'll have the chains as well, and Bambo should be a free kill. Just a little bit of extra mana expend. And they give it over to Matumba Man.
-2.
And Mind Control, TP out. Ooh, Swift Ending. He was trying to see if he could get close enough and hit the stun outside of being burned by the cogs. Fada, meanwhile, in the middle lane. Well, his bottle just came to him. Hopefully that'll keep him alive, and maybe an opportunity to turn Jarek. What? Okay, he just runs right back into the open arms of EGM, who right-clicks him down. They do manage to get the kill on Pycat, so it makes it an okay trade-off, but that was totally Jarek's kill. It seemed like the Queen of Pain wasn't really needed there.
I think he could have just run away. That's a little bit of a weird situation there for Fata.
He still had bottle charges. He just could have outrun the Dazzle's right click a little bit, got some bottle time in there.
Yeah, uncharacteristic mistake. And yes, they do kill Pycat first, so the experience, I believe, there only goes to the Dazzle, so they're still going to be fine in the lane, but that's... These kind of mistakes definitely will add up at some point. It's going to give EGM level 3.5. He's trying to triple stack this. I don't know if it's actually possible. We're going to see if he manages here.
Yeah, you just have to pull a little bit later. 55, I think, is the full time. It should be possible.
Yeah, this constellation of creeps is possible. I think if you get the worst possible dual pull, it might not be doable with how much they block each other on the way out.
Yeah, it'd be like Satyrs and... what would be the other really bad ones?
Yeah. Oh, maybe you can always triple stack it. Maybe there's nothing, but you can't quad it ever, I believe. There's no way of quadding that stuff. So they have the max stack. They should be able to farm it pretty quickly with a level 3 power shot from Pycat, who, as we should mention, I mean, if you go back a few months, this was a no-brainer that he would go this build. But recently we've seen Wind Rangers maxing Shackle Shot and Wind Run and getting 1 point in power shot just for the vision, and then relying a lot on the focus fire. But this game he has to get power shot to farm.
Is that a... Yeah, that's probably the early pressure of the Bane, right? That is forcing him more into that, okay, you know, you have to use power shot to farm so much, but so I need to just level it up.
And it gives them a chance at contesting runes, which is very important against a hero like Queen of Pain, who benefits very much from pretty much every single rune. There are some mid laners where you're like, well, a double damage on it is maybe not that scary, or yes, a haste can be great, but not the end of the world. And then there's Queen of Pain who's like, double damage, haste, regen, just give me any of them and I'll find kills on the map. So at least this way they do have a shot at it. And of course, with Bambo being in nighttime and level 4, that definitely opens up the map as well for them to try to put some pressure. Still in top lane, though.
Yeah, especially with the boots, I would have figured he would have rotated immediately with his level 3, but he's actually holding on to 1 level right now, seeing if he needs to go into the silence. Oftentimes we do see Night Stalkers go for the extra level in the passive, just all out on the movement speed and attack speed that you gain from it, but in this game, obviously, the control versus heroes like the Ember Spirit and the Queen of Pain is going to be pretty essential.
He did skill the silence now, but... Oh, that sprint from Swift Ending might have just given it away. No, it looks like Mind Control is wondering, was that a misclick or what? But
now he's silenced up. He won't be able to get off the cogs right away. They'll get the stun, all the nukes, and Mind Control. He knows he's dead now. So great play from Sexy Bambo. The silence obviously coming in the clutch. Against 2 different melee heroes, the cogs would have ensured that Mind Control lives. But with that long duration silence allowing the Slaughter to close that gap, they get the kill.
Such a good skill point. 5-second silence. At level 1. Incredible value. And now they might actually try again. Oh, he actually chose to TP into this.
Oh, Mind Control is just done for. Swift Ending is going to be able to right-click him down with the amplified damage, or maybe it's the Night Stalker. Sexy Bambo held at bay by the battery salt. He's actually getting the bottling up. They will get the kill eventually, but 16 Bambo, he realizes that he's dead as well. He's just going to try and lead them on a merry chase, but the tower right-clicks are enough to get the kill.
Wow. There's been a couple of weird mistakes in this game. First, Fatsa's death, and now this one where they basically just needed to hit him once more. And I think Swift Ending thought he had the hit in, and then he got hit by Battery Assault that canceled the attack. And I think Bambo wanted him to have the kill, so he canceled his attack. And then he has to dive into that really awkward situation. So that's very unfortunate for 4Clovers.
The faster you get that Blink Dagger on the Slaughter, the more aggressively you can play with the Slaughter Night Stalker combo, where you just go all out for pickoffs and kills.
Still a very, very even game right now, though. And in my opinion, this favors Liquid, who just need to get through the first 1 or 2 night times without too many casualties to this offlane Night Stalker. The big downside of this hero, if you don't get a good first night and is played in the offlane, where do you go? It's not good at farming. It doesn't really have that much versatility during the day at all. And he's not even level 6, so when minute 8 cracks, they just know, okay, Bambo is very, very weak for a while. He might get a 6 up here, though. It's getting quite a bit.
Yeah, at the same time, we're kind of going outside of the laning phase a bit, and usually the teams get a bit lax on their creep equilibrium control, so maybe even during nighttime or daytime, they'll still, like, the wave will push out. Maybe he can pick up that level 6 nonetheless. The Queen of Pain currently rocking the Invis rune is looking for the pickoff in the middle lane with the help of the Silencer, but may have to go into the jungle instead. Mind Control spots out the Winter Wyvern. Mind Control, though, obviously not level 6. Can't really do much about that. Double damage. Fada just finding all the runes to allow him to win fights, just not finding the fight itself.
This is a good read from 4Clovers. I think they're getting suspicious because Kuro is mid. So Queen of Pain has to be somewhere. It's not likely she's doing stacks because they would more than likely give those to Ember, and of course they've seen Kuro being in lane top almost all the time, so who would have stacked? I think the Bane has been moving a lot as well, so...
Yeah, they're just, like, out of the mid-heroes, Queen of Pain is one of the lesser ones in trying to push for stacks. Much more likely to be looking for ganks.
There goes the Darkness. Bambo using it essentially to farm here. It doesn't feel like there's many ganking opportunities, so he just buys himself that 50 seconds window that should give him 2 creep waves and his phase boots. So not too shabby, honestly, compared to how this could have gone for the NS this game.
Pycat, Kuro comes forward, but nothing's going to happen here. Easily able to win run out if there's any attempt to go on him. Mind Control does have his level 6, though, and we may see him rotate around, or maybe the supports will go to him. They're going to be able to jump onto Mind Control here. Hook shot, trying to buy enough room for the Cogs, but doesn't quite get it. Still, though, he's locked him inside the Cogs for Vada to get the double kill.
Very, very nice there, getting that hook shot off. Allows him to get the Cogs, like you said, and they do find 2 kills. They even rotated down their 2 supports now with smoke, but they're basically showing up to an empty lane because Fada already took care of business.
Silence first. If they can get the shackle shot, doesn't quite latch, and Matumba Man is now fine. In fact, he's willing to make the turnaround here. See if he can't force something out of Sexy Bambo. Has the escape necessary. At the last second, throws it out. Forces the TP from the Night Stalker. Meanwhile, middle lane looks like EGM's going to be ganked up. Jarek's, he's got the sleep. They have the silence to combo with it, but they really need a core to make sure they can get this kill. Sleep first. They're going to have to go underneath the tier 1 tower, but Mind Control's willing to make that committal. EGM gets off the Shell Grave and will buy himself some more time, but it seems like there's just no real escape for him here. Saksa trying to dish out some damage to Kuro. Cold Embrace to buy him some time. There's going to be not a whole lot of rotations. Pycat coming in from the side, actually, with a shackle shot. Committing to the kill onto Kuro. Doesn't get the Cogs pushback. Kuro managed to dodge the power shot there, but putting himself up in the tree, and now he's actually accidentally nightmared himself up. Kuro will be taken out by the nuke finally at 60 Bambo, but he's just bought time. Jump forward, Matumba Man finishes off Pycat, and now they're going to get 60 Bambo as well with a battery assault, keeping him in place. He commits to the kill on Jarek's, trying to get anything for his life, but that doesn't happen. Team Liquid protecting their supports there as best as they can, and another 2 kills go their way.
This is when Swift Ending has to start getting involved. He has this Blink Dagger. He can buy a TP scroll in a moment. And then this kind of fights where Liquid just start diving the tier 1 tower mid should not be happening with a Slaughter at this point in the game when he is the safe laner. He has to be able to respond, get a couple counter kills out there. This fight would have been so different if he joined. It was essentially a 5-on-4. I believe every single Liquid hero was involved there, at least toward the end. Matumba Man does show up, and Slaughter with some involvement there could definitely have turned the tide.
It seems like the secondary nighttime, like, they just have to get so much done on the side of 4CNL because they're so far behind right now, and we're not even, like, we're talking about this before the silencer is really ready to go. He's got a global silence now, but we haven't seen the effect. We've talked about the combinations that they can potentially have, you know, the Fiend's Grip, you know, throwing that down combined with the global silence, guaranteed, you know, 5-second stun essentially, the aggressiveness of heroes like the Ember Spirit and the Queen of Pain, being able to just freely go in there, much like a Storm Spirit, right? Commit for those kills, knowing they've got the global silence to fall back on, and this early on in the game, 4CNL won't have anything to deal with that global silence just yet.
No, I think ideally they try to find a gank on the silencer, and then if they do catch him off, they could maybe snowball it into a couple of extras. But anyone else they engage on, I just don't really see the kill happening. You blink in Slaughter, you crush, you just global, or you double shackle shot, you global, and should buy enough time for either of these mobile heroes to get out, and of course, maybe even get a counter initiation. If it sets up for a blink Cogs and Sonic Wave, you saw what happened bottom lane. It's just going to happen again.
So maybe time to start utilizing some of those smokes for 4CNL. Start playing aggressively. Start going for those pickoffs. See if you can't force some mistakes out of Team Liquid because they seem to be in a great position so far. Of course, the Macedonian internet is not really doing great for Saksa, as you could see with the pauses and stuff. That's just saying. He's Macedonian, right?
I think so,
I
think so.
Yeah.
He's speaking of him, by the way, he's going to need level 6. I think the Wyvern is a really integral part in this as well, because that's, I mean, if you have enough stuff that you can throw at your opponent, and you, let's say you force out the global with a shackle shot, or you force out the global, even with a Winter's Curse, what the curse is really good at is that it doesn't offer a disengage. Like, if you curse and then the enemy team globals, they're still laying into the target you cursed, so you effectively can't use the duration to run away. And then whatever gap you create toward the end of it, Slaughter and Wind Ranger can probably close. So that might be the better play for 4CL, actually, is give Saksa a lane until he's 6, and then start getting him involved and try to look for fights. But already, I think Liquid are very well established in this game.
I think one of the most dangerous things about the Winter's Curse for this game is the fact that you have so much synergy with the amplified damage, right? If you throw that down, everyone's beating onto that hero. He's got minus armor as well. It just seems like oftentimes, especially given how squishy like Team Liquid are, the Ember Spirit particularly, right? He's supposed to be one of those incredibly mobile heroes that has the magic defense of Flame Guard, but if you have the lockdown of Winter's Curse plus the amplified damage, this Ember Spirit's really going to have to play very carefully in this game. Otherwise, he could just be taken up. Shackle Shot, amplified damage, Winter's Curse. You know, there's so many different potential counters to the Ember Spirit in this game.
They definitely do have the tools, but yeah, once again, for me, the difficult thing is that Liquid, we talked a lot about global, and it is a very key ability for them to have, but I think what could be even more crucial is just a simple hook shot. Like, you have heroes like Slaughter and Night Stalker that want to be up in your face. Clockwork is just like the ultimate counter to them. Whoever you engage on, even if you engage on the Clock himself, he's just going to keep you busy. If you engage on Clock, you know you're going to get global. If you engage on anyone else, if he gets a hook shot and a cog, even if it doesn't cog them in but just knocks them back, it creates a path for them to escape through. So there are a lot of problems that 4CNL have to overcome here, and I think there's no other way of doing it than landing some really, really key spells at the perfect timings. Like, 80% isn't going to cut it this game.
And I like this gank. If they manage to get it, Mind Control actually backs up at the right time, but, you know, following that up, the Disruptive Force of the Clockwork is going to be potent for Team Liquid, even more so if he can finish up that quick Blade Mail, which I believe that's what he's going for, holding on to 900 gold, trying to get that. Oh, no, Force Staff instead. Okay. Jump in here on EGM. They try and pop him, but manage to get up the Shellgrave TP, and they've got no disables to stop that.
They still force... They force the TP, they force the Grave usage, which is a pretty long cooldown at level 2. So, well, he can't TP on lane, so I guess it's going to be ready when he comes back anyway. But it's a lot of time invested, and wow, this is super ballsy, and also super unpredictable for Liquid.
Oh, Matumba, man, I'm sure he's just going for the 12-minute rune, but if he just pops his head in there, it would be so disastrous for for 4CNL, but doesn't look like they're going to find it. 4CNL's very atypical Roche attempt here between the Focus Fire and the Amplified damage. They've got the damage between just 2 heroes at 12 minutes in.
This is very high risk, high reward. And
Sox, he looks like he's dead here at the top lane. Fada's going to catch him out. But Roshan, yep. The rest of 4CNL jump inside the pit knowing that they can commit to it. Take that Aegis, especially the Queen of Pain committing to the kill at the top lane. So immortality for our Wind Ranger.
It's actually crazy how that Roche attempt, if a rocket flies by, they almost lose the game. That's how risky that play was. They'll get 2 heroes caught most likely. They will lose those. They will lose the Roche. But sometimes taking big risks gives a big reward here. And this kind of puts them back into the game where I think now they need to use this Aegis on Pycat. He needs to play super aggressively, soak up some spells, which in turn can open up for the Slaughter and the Night Stalker.
5 to 9, 13 minutes in. Take a look at that net worth and see where exactly we're at. And you see the top 2 on the board, of course, being the Ember Spirit and the Queen of Pain, but feeling like the lead by Team Liquid, pretty decent, 2K, 3K. But that can all change with just one good team fight being forced by 4CNL at this point.
I think Liquid might just try to wait out the night.
Yeah.
Or if a fight happens, they want it to happen at their tower. That's where Clockwork and Queen of Pain can really get a good angle. Fonza has an Invis, though.
Yeah, okay, maybe they can actually, especially with they force a TP in the middle lane. They know this is a perfect opportunity for them to play forward here. Counterwards are being laid out, though. And EGM will actually take the ward, but Queen of Pain, she doesn't really care if EGM's alone. They can get this kill. Sonic Wave ready to go, but EGM, oh, Shackle Shot actually controlling him. EGM's going to try and get out as much damage as possible. Global Silence making sure there's no follow-up. And now, oh, missed hook shot, but it doesn't matter. Pycat's going to lose that Aegis. And now do they commit further? Looks like it. Mind Control throws out the Cogs. Battery Assault as well. Pycat's going to die a secondary time here before anybody from 4CNL can respond. Now the Winter's Curse on Fada with the amplified damage. He just gets blown up. Swift ending. Now sprinting himself the hell out of there where Jerix will be taken out by 60 Bamboo on that double damage. Mind Control going to be the next target of Swift ending. Has another stun, but a Cogs pushback buys himself the space and will be able to TP out in time. It's just Matumba Man left as 60 Bamboo managed to get the nuke onto him. He's out of mana though, no more silence. So Matumba Man, especially with his bottle, will have the space to get out.
This is a pretty good response from 4CNL, all things considered. They lost 2 or 3 heroes before that even started. I think they lost 2, right? They lost the Wind Ranger and the Dazzle, and they still show what their lineup can really do during this nighttime. When the abilities are used already and on cooldown, just that one Winter's Curse and then Slardar and Nightstalker laying into targets and being hyper-mobile makes it difficult for, especially Ember, to have a big impact in the fight. He spends the entire fight running away from a Nightstalker, basically. But at the end of the day, he's also laughing all the way to the bank, right? Because he's got 100 CS right now on the Ember, so he's keeping up a really good pace on farm. And they can't keep playing this way against the Ember. At some point, he's going to get way too strong for them.
Battle Fury should be coming in soon. 2 heroes pushing out the top lane for 4CNL right now. Pycat. It's okay. Whoa. This is not going to be the Aghanim Sybil. It looks like he's. Oh, Kuro jumped in. Swift ending. The amplified damage. It's just so easy to kill a support like that, and they'll get out before the TPs come in. In fact, Clockwork even cancels that. Is that a minus or is that a Maelstrom? The Maelstrom would be more normal, but it's been so long since I've seen that on a Wind Ranger.
It is minus flying out.
Okay.
16 minutes in. I mean, 4CNL, this is a little more tricky for me to call than the Slark we were talking about last game, where I thought Midas wouldn't maybe necessarily be the best choice. Because this time around, I don't think you can play that kind of a greed game where you're fighting into this Ember going to be farming, or you can rather play the greed game because you have amplified damage too and Nightstalker. All of their 3 cores actually can become really strong in the mid game this time around. So it might open up for an opportunity for him as we get the tower trade.
Yeah, so Swift ending. Yeah, he's going for it too, right? Is that what I saw?
Well,
yeah.
Is this double minus, man? That's
double minus.
Kind of greedy.
Yeah,
but perhaps they can pull it off with an Ags and Nightstalker.
Lockdown, EGM. Throws out the Shellgrave. Pycat sitting on the side here. Matumba Man's just going to try and run down EGM. Now he's going to be controlled as Swift, and he comes in with a stun, and that physical damage just rips him a new one. This is going to be one of the big downsides of the Ember Spirit throughout the whole entire game, is that he's going to be so susceptible to that physical damage. He's such a hero that wants to play the in and out game, while 4CNL have such good both lockdown and initiation, and particularly with that Slardar.
They have so much in-game. They just go in, you know?
Yeah.
Like the incredible damage they can put out with their lockdown. Oh, we've got a little bit of a lag again for Soxa. Very unfortunate. He is going to be reconnecting once again.
Yeah, fortunately, Team Liquid are being quite nice about it. You know what else is also nice, Cinderin?
You?
Yes, that is also true. But
very humble.
The eScore esports app. You guys can check out the eScore esports for all your Dota scores.
Good.
Yeah. If you didn't know that.
I did.
It's kind of right here.
It is actually pretty nice, to be honest.
Oh.
Shout out to Matt Demers. He's a great guy.
Yes, he's a very nice guy.
Out there. But yeah, anyway, I think in this game, this kill on Ember is going to slow him. I'm not sure. He's dead for 30 seconds, so that's probably slowing down his itemization by 2 to 3 minutes. If they can catch him again, let's see, the game time currently is 16, so this is not natural night, right? The first night's at 4, day until 8.
8.
Night until 12.
12
day
to
until
16.
So it is night.
So,
did I do the math wrong?
No, 4 to 8 and 12 to 16 are your night times.
Yeah, so it's day now. Okay.
Yeah, so it's daytime. Yeah. Team Liquid can now take control of the game as soon as the artificial nighttime fades.
Yeah. And that's why this kill had to happen during this darkness. So that's expiring in about 20 seconds as it looks right now.
I mean, the more I look at it, I really like the minuses on 4CNL. I mean, the fact that Team Liquid, Ember Spirit is a terrible hero to push uphill, right? And if they feel confident enough to go, all right, let's just go late game. I mean, you're only facing an Ember Spirit. We've got plenty of lockdown for him in the late game. Yeah, Queen of Pain might be, you know, a problem. Same goes with the Silencer in the late game. But I still think that Team Liquid, despite, you know, the Slardar carry, and you initially look at Slardar carry lineups as going, okay, you're the full aggro, you're going to try and win this game by 35 minutes. I think they can actually definitely fall back on late game and play this out to 50, 60 minutes and see how Team Liquid respond.
Yeah, just this, even though it's just one kill in Ember, this kill really matters.
Yeah.
It was starting to reach a scary point where he was simply just getting too much and would be able to get far enough ahead that should he die a little bit later, he would still be ahead of the curve, but this slows down his itemization. I am actually curious to see if Matumba Man goes for the Battle Fury first, or if he is considering a first item Linken's, because this lineup is actually terrifying for him to play against and will give him a little more space. But it's tricky. At the same time, what do you do? If you get a first item Linken's, you don't farm fast enough, so he's kind of stuck in a position where he might have to get it. It's a big item for Fata.
Yeah. The Orchid should allow so much more, especially since we're not going to be seeing early BKBs. With these Midases, you're presuming still an Aghanims next for Pycat. Swift Ending, obviously, if he's completing his Midas, that slows up the BKB there as well. So this Orchid should be very powerful in the next 10 minutes or so. Mind Control has been spotted out by that power shot. So Team Liquid may not find the opening they're really searching for. The Weave goes out, but only really catches Mind Control. All they know is the Clockwork's here, but I'm sure they realize there's a lot more, especially with Matumba Man pressing so aggressively into that Tier 1 tower. They start making their way out now. Mind Control looking at Pycat, thinking about it, but it's so tough to go on him right now.
He's getting a lot of information.
Chipping away that Tier 1 tower.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, they're just taking advantage of daytime.
Yeah.
They know that Night Stalker can't really do anything right here. This is what prompted the push. Even if 4CNL get a great fight, I don't think it's going to be enough just because of the amount of counterplay they have available. They have Global, they have Orchid, they have Hookshot.
Feels weird, though. The fact that they still can't actually commit to that tower. Somebody take it. Oh, Pycat gets the deny. And I think it says a lot. Like, Team Liquid, maybe they had the time on the Darkness, maybe a little bit off, but the fact that they weren't willing to commit to that despite it being daytime and everything else is very concerning for me.
Yeah, now we've got 5 minutes of nighttime again here. At least, maybe even 6 for Bambo. He's looking for some sort of information here. He's going to find quite a bit. Oh, there's a rocket seeing him, so, yeah. But they're not really farming at the same time. See, this is a very easy read for Team Liquid. There's no one mid. The bottom lane is pushing very close to the Tier 2 soon. So it's incredibly obvious how 4CNL are moving around the map right now, and Liquid can just slow play and play defensively here. Mind Control!
Oh, Force Staff gets some distance, and they will be able to control Swift Ending a little bit more. Hook shot, turn around, but he just gets blown up by the Dazzle. Now the Winter's Curse on a Matumba Man, but there's no follow-up with the Global Silence. They can commit for this. Swift Ending's going to be the target. Sonic Wave hits EGM on the side as well. Saksa running forward here, straight into Team Liquid, is going to fly himself over the trees, trying to make himself the target for the rest of 4CNL to escape. He goes back up onto the cliff. Don't tell me he's actually going to be able to escape from all this. TP's out, and Team Liquid played the fool there by the Winter Wyvern support.
That was a very, very nice escape from Soxa. He is an incredible Wyvern player. I think I remember 2 or 3 games of his Wyvern where I'm just like, every time, this guy plays one of the best Wyverns in the world. I think it's his best hero. Just showing some great understanding of the hero there. They're going to try to catch Matumba. I don't think there's a Shackle Shot line available. Do they even need it, though?
No, the silence is just so long during nighttime. Mind Control comes in, but he's got no hook shot. 60 Bambo just TPs away right in front of Fada. EGM is going to be run down, it looks like. But again, I mean, 4CNL, they displayed this earlier. They're willing to give up their supports in exchange for the objectives, like taking out that Ember Spirit.
That was good enough for them. This is starting to look pretty good. Oh, it's an armlet, by the way, in the Slaughter, not
okay.
Not a Midas on him. But the way this game is developing, I think 4CNL are actually pretty happy. Like you said, they got the objective, they got 1 or 2 key kills there, one of them again on the Ember. Killing this hero off is crucial. This is starting to become a really late Battle Fury, actually. He's still 1,000 gold away, minute 21. So he's been slowed down very well by there. Just the thing you can't see in this game is how much Night Stalker is doing, apart from kills. His overall map control, by just being off the map, is really preventing Ember from getting the farm he wants. He had such a great start. I think in the last 5 to 10 minutes, he has got... Oh, not 5 to 10. Let's say 5 minutes. I think he's got effectively like 20 CS. Just because this Night Stalker really keeps him at bay.
Ooh, the hook shot misses out there. 60 Bambo will be able to escape. But even then, the hook shot, I mean, there was a fair number of 4CNL heroes around. I'm not sure if Mind Control would have been happy actually hitting that one, and it's going to be 4CNL with the nighttime that they have. Going to be pushing into that Tier 1 tower, and should be able to take it, I feel, with ease.
Yeah, Global is up again, though. Sonic is up in 5. Liquid have the tools to fight this, but the hookshot is definitely a big issue for them, being on cooldown. Oh, Fata went greedy!
Ooh. Fata's got a regen as well.
He would have been super dead if he got silenced there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he could have made the cute play of getting silenced and then silencing Night Stalker, and then either running into a blink or just trying to TP out. But I think Slaughter would have caught him in either case, so making the right call, backing off from the tower. And I feel like it's smoke time. Like, there's got to be a smoke at some point now.
How's our
The
Ember
map's just
Spirit's
too
progression?
solid.
He does... Okay, he still doesn't have that Battle Fury. Jeez.
It's starting to get really late from Matumba. Minute 25. After the start he had, he's not going to be feeling good about this.
No.
There is the smoke, by the way. It was about time. Like, the map is slowed down too, or the game is slowed down a little bit too much. There is definitely openings to be had, and Liquid are maybe not finding the one they want here, actually. Their smoke's just going to break.
Oh, he's going to be so big. The Fiend's Grip immediately stopped by the Shackle Shot. 60 Bamboo still going to be the target with the Global Silence, but Team Liquid realized this is not the fight they want to take anymore. They're going to jump out. Let's see what 4CNL can catch. Looks like Jarex will be the first target. No, Team Liquid actually going to turn and fight on this staircase area, looks like. Oh, jump in, managed to get the Winter's Curse right after the hook shot. Still controlling. Fada is actually going to be taken out by the Shackle Shot. 60 Bamboo hits the Silence, but a Sonic Wave over the top of 2. Pycat's still very much alive until Team Liquid now surround him with 3 different heroes. The Cold Embrace only buys him time. The Brain Sap will finish him off, and 60 Bamboo couldn't actually get to Fada in time. Fada escapes with just 50 HP. 60 Bamboo is going to be run down. He's got plenty of Magic Stick charges and will look for the TP on the side shop. Looks like Team Liquid are going to turn, maybe take Roche on here, but they have a really bad Roche taking team, so
yeah,
that's
I
not
don't
even
think that's
possible.
an option. But they're happy with this, obviously. They got 2 kills for none, and Clockwork is just godlike in a position like that. That's like the best area on the map, 24 minutes in for Clockwork to fight.
Bamboo, you greedy bastard. You're going to be caught for that one. I think he was like looking at that Aghanim Scepter and he's going like, oh, I just need 1 or 2 creeps. If I could just get those creeps, Aghanim Scepter for the next nighttime, we're good to go. But that allows Matumba Man to find an additional pickoff, and there's that Battle Fury we're searching for.
Yeah, he's not, I don't want to say he's very much back in the game. He's second on net worth. I mean, it's not that bad, but he had a start that could have catapulted him into an incredible later portion of the game that we are approaching pretty quickly here. But still, it's probably good enough. And in a way, I completely understand that 4CNL wanted to chase that, because what they essentially got was they had Fiend's Grip used and they had Global used, and the only thing they traded for it was, I think, Shackle Shot. That was the trade they made. So they felt like, wow, these are 2 really big ultimates on cooldown. But the one thing that's more important than all of these cooldowns is the positioning. Yeah, speaking of positioning, Jarex is in a pretty awkward one right now.
I'm not sure. Like, I think he stopped his own TP. I'm not sure if he intended to do that in order to sleep himself because he was like, oh, I'm just going to get stunned, or... I'm sure that can't be the case, because even then, if he dodges a stun, he's still dead.
I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, so I'm sure it was just a misclick.
Yeah.
Too bad, because I don't think our Slaughter had the blink to stop it. So
he gets a little bit of a bonus kill here. That's a freebie, and probably, I don't know if they can push the tower. This Bane is respawning in 15. Is there a glyph for Liquid? There is. And once again, the timings here. It feels like whenever 4Clovers are somewhat ready to push a tower, Fata has 5-second cooldown on Sonic Wave. It's always there when they need it in these fights.
Yeah, it's surprising without the Aghanim Scepter.
And that was the other thing, actually. If we go back to the area where they took the fight here at the choke point around the... how do you explain that?
The staircase is such a dangerous area.
The staircases. So the one thing is, obviously, the Clockwork blocks them off with the cogs. But the issue is, not only does he block them off and catch them in the area, they couldn't run down the Queen of Pain. It was very clear what the call was from 4Clovers. Pycat gets a Shackle on the Quap after she's silenced by Night Stalker. They go in with Night Stalker, output all the damage they can, but they can't get the Slaughter in. So they were like, okay, who has the big damage remaining? They've used Global, they've used Grip, Ember has used all of his kit. This is when Sonic Wave and Scream is going to lose the fight. And then they commit in, they can't shut him down. He gets a 3 or 4-man Sonic Wave, and I think a Scream off as well, and even escapes with like a sliver of health.
Yeah,
so
I mean, just one right click from anybody would have actually killed the Queen of Pain.
It was very, very little missing there. And if he doesn't get the Sonic Wave off, I think Liquid actually do lose the fight, even with those great cogs. So it's very important that that fight happened exactly like it did for them.
I mean, you saw how long Pycat lived through the fight, despite, like, if you remove the Sonic Wave pure damage, a part of that equation, he just actually probably would have been able to escape to his team. And you throw in the factor that you've got Dazzle, Heal, Shallow Grave coming in as well. That could have been a much different fight. But as it is, Team Liquid still moving forward here in items and everything else. Where do we go from here, though? Is the time before CNL with the armlets and the blink dagger they have on the Slaughter, are they still a bit too dangerous to fight? Do you try and go for that Roshan Aegis advantage in order to allow yourself to push into the tier 2 towers? Or do you think sitting back and farming more is still an option for them?
I think farming is fine. I think the key item that 4Clovers are missing right now is actually a blink dagger on the Wind Ranger. It's the missing piece of the puzzle where she keeps getting locked out. Clockwork will always catch and isolate someone inside, and Wind Ranger can't really cross. the moment Pikehead gets a blink, he can single-handedly kill Queen of Pain with Amplify damage. So all of a sudden, it opens up for a lot of flexibility for them. Now the Night Stalker Axe will allow them to land those shackles very easily. I do think that's the play. As for Liquid, I don't know if they have a choice. Like, their pushing is awful.
Yeah.
So they probably have to play farm and try to win a fight around the Roche pit, maybe even steal the Roche from 4Clovers and just map control until that point.
This does give you a little bit more incentive for the Queen of Pain to build into a right-click build, right? To go for like an AC sort of style.
For sure. Right. I definitely think that is what Fada is thinking. They need AoE armor against this Radiant lineup. It's all about physical damage come minute. Well, actually, what we're at already, like the Power Shot and the Splinter Blast is starting to lose efficiency, whereas obviously the Slardar is gaining Amplify damage levels. They're starting to hit hard with the Wind Raider physically. There's a hook shot.
And Jarek's a little awkward position. He's trying to get some sort of damage over the cliff. Will be able to get it. It looks like they will be able to get the kill without 4CNL forcing any sort of counter engagement. And Kuro actually keeping the global silence alive is going to be big. I mean, 4CNL, even once the Night Stalker comes back, that nighttime's going to be fading soon, the artificial nighttime.
I'm very surprised he popped Darkness.
Yeah.
You got to know there that you're just super dead and can't get out. Or was he stunned by anything?
You mean, he was hit by the hook shot. They didn't pop the Fiend's Grip or anything, so it was just...
I'm wondering if he could have hit the cogs twice and run out, and that's why he cast Darkness, so he got the attack speed for it.
Okay.
I mean, that is a possibility there, but I think the change just kept him in place for too long.
Yeah, and if he gets like just a little bit far away, then he gets away from the battery assault, and well, you've got the Dazzle and the Winter Wyvern. If he just gets back to his allies, maybe he felt confident enough that he would live.
And okay. Never mind, because it's actually going to be Natural Night anyway. So it's not that big of a loss.
Oh, true.
Natural Night is kicking in about 2 or 3 seconds.
Hook shot, forced out forward, misses that one, EGM.
Speaking of that, I wonder why in Source 1 and in Source 2 alike, it's been improved a little bit, but the timer is not exactly 4 minutes. You know? The nighttime just kicked in at 28:04.
Oh.
And I don't understand how that doesn't work yet. I think in Source 1, the nighttime would have kicked in at 28:06 or 07, so they've improved it a little bit, but it's still not
the smoke's going to keep it, and they caught Kuroki, and that's going to be a big one. They make sure there's no global silence, and they're well set up for Roshan. Unlike Team Liquid, who don't really have a good Roche-taking team at all, 4CNL have a great one between Pycat and when we saw it earlier. Just the Wind Ranger and Slardar combination is enough.
This is a big moment. I think Liquid actually want to try to contest this.
Without the silencer, he does have a buyback. If they want to be able to commit, he can buy back on global silence. Matumba Man is actually going to be silenced up before he can get inside that pit. They see how low it is. Going to jump in now, try to grab it. Oh, the Slardar actually managed to snatch it there at the tail end of it. They're going to force the fight from here. 4CNL come back, and Swift Ending is going to be forced to fight up against Mind Control as well as Matumba Man, while 60 Bamboo is low enough that he's going to be dying to Fada and Jarek's here in a second. Call the brace. It just buys him seconds, really. So the rest of Team Liquid now come outside of the pit. Glimmer Cape actually will be able to get him away, while Soxa, well, he throws out the ultimate, but that's all that's really going to happen. He's dead. EGM is probably going to be caught as well. There's no escape, really, from Matumba Man. What a great fight for Team Liquid. Slardar being able to get the Aegis didn't actually mean anything. Team Liquid, such a great initiation.
Man, that Sonic Wave from Fata. I think that was a level 3 Sonic Wave. Yes, BKB blinks and catches them off guard. The Night Stalker, I think Bambo in that situation probably making the wrong call. They're 5-on-4. At that point, I think you just have to bank on the silencer not having buyback global, but he exposes himself up in this position where he essentially just gets locked down for the entirety of the fight in the beginning there, and then, well, it allows Fata to very easily get in and output, and the Night Stalker kind of a non-factor. Of course, also the Clockwork doing so much, and did that coincide with Weave ending? Because I felt like Matumba did a lot of damage, too, on his Ember.
Yeah.
They timed it perfectly no matter what happened, at least that's for sure.
Yeah, maybe he got some lucky crits off, because I felt kind of the same, that he was dishing out a lot. Kuro's going to be the target here as 60 Bamboo runs it down. Oh, no! Fada! He comes forward, he just adds another kill! 4CNL, very happy with that. Would have been just a one-off silencer. Gets the Queen of Pain as well, a twofer. And 4CNL will take the tier 2 tower on top of everything else.
He has a spirit. It's in the river. Right, he's all right. Yeah, that's a really big loss. I think once again they could have maybe fought without Kuro. Fata would have... Oh, never mind. Sonic is on cooldown for 20. That's their most important ability right now is the Sonic Wave. It's what's winning them fights. So I think they might have had to give this up anyway, just in a 5-on-4. But they get more than what they came for, and they might just keep going.
This feels like a very risky play. Something that's perhaps Not worth it, but maybe they can force the Queen of Pain buyback and still get out in time, or maybe they'll just jump Matumba Man, hookshot in. They also have a defensive sleep. Mind Control trying to get away. Winter's Curse onto Matumba Man. They're going to Fiend's Grip up the Winter Wyvern. He's definitely dead as Fada hits a decent ultimate. Looks like it got Swift Ending as well. Already brought so low. He's going to turn and fight, but he knows he's dead. And now they'll get EGM on top of everything else. And yeah, 4CNL, a fight that obviously wasn't worth it. They forced a buyback, but I think it was well worth it for Team Liquid.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's not good enough. If they would have got the tower, or if they would have got a killer or two in trade, they could have been okay. We forced the buyback, but yeah, they're just not in a good enough position for this to force these high ground pushes. Basically, the engage from Slaughter is what lost them the fight. He blinks in, and I can understand where he's coming from, trying to go for that key kill on the Ember, because if they get him and he doesn't have buyback, so all of a sudden it looks very good. But the risk-reward ratio, you've just got to look at it. Okay, you're jumping on an Ember who has a Nightmare on defense. He's got a Force Staff on defense from the Clockwork, and there's a hook shot, and you counter none of them because you're so far ahead of your team. I feel like that's just an inexperienced move here from Swift Ending.
Matumba Man farming up the Ancients right in front of Pycat. He knows he
Did you
can
mention the
always
Force
escape.
Staff on him instead of Blink?
No,
He's only going for that because Clockwork.
Yeah, yeah, that's
else
gotta
it would
be.
definitely be Blink. But just a mobility item in general here is very crucial. Alright, it's a little bit of pressure being put bottom, and they might just escape with this smoke coming out from 4CL. Won't really catch anyone.
Yeah, Slaughter could have pushed forward, but he opts to farm the wave instead, and Team Liquid successfully escaped. Matumba Man runs into Pycat here. Will be able to get the chains. The Shackle Shot doesn't latch anything, and yeah, Pycat's going to be dead. He gets orchided up, slowed down by the strike of the Queen of Pain. Forced out, TP out. Don't tell me. Oh my goodness, he's actually no.
What?
Ember Spirit gets him with a Sleight of Fist. It still hits you.
He died in the base because Windrun expired. He got hit by the Sleight of a Fist hit, and oh my god, that's...
Yeah, he bounced from creep to creep into the fountain. It's that one right click, and
Bambo almost getting caught here by Grip as well. That could have been really, really bad for CNL. They end up only losing Pycat. Now what's surprising to me is, was it Natural Night or was it Day when this happened? Because Bambo has to be there with Pycat. I think that's their most scary killing duo, is the Night Stalker together with either the Wind Ranger or the Slardar. But they have to start moving around together so they can put pressure and catch these stragglers around the map. It was daytime, okay.
yeah. I think it was, what, 28 to 32? I feel like I need a paper that says all the night times for me.
Yeah.
Middle lane, Jerix. Yeah. Winter Wyvern is very dead. More intelligence for the Silencer. So with this pickoff, what can Team Liquid actually do with this? I doubt they're going to push uphill. It doesn't look like the side lanes. Maybe they can go to the bottom lane because it's being pushed out by the Queen of Pain right now and try and go for that tier 2. But it doesn't feel like they're going to get any real big objectives, just a bit more map control. And then 60 Bambo, oh, mind control. Force stabs himself forward with the help of the haste. He'll run down into 60 Bambo with a battery assault to tick off that TP out. And he still has the mech to be able to fall back on. So this man fighting a 60 Bambo, he's not really going to be able to win this one. He's just getting kited around until the rest of Team Liquid come forward. But Kuro, who was the first one here on the scene for Team Liquid, just gets cleaned up by Pycat. Now the rest of the team's coming in from behind, and 4CNL will be forced into a fight. Fada jumps forward, Shackle Shot latches onto him as well as Jerix. Oh, this is going to be disastrous. 4CNL just take out that big damage dealer. Swift Ending missing the stun, but it doesn't matter. Bane just disappears. Matumba Man still in the front lines, going for Pycat, but now controlled by the Winter's Curse, with Mind Control hitting him as well. Cleaned up by a big critical. There goes Pycat. Soxa, he's maybe going down as well, but the amplified damage, Swift Ending just needs one more right click and he gets it too. He dies to Mind Control as he tried to, looks like armlet toggle, but ends up getting caught there. If he had survived, that would have been a huge win. Still, great win for 4CNL as they totally team-wiped Team Liquid in the process. But just think if that starter had lived, so much more would have been gained.
I have no other word than shocking for the fact that Fata didn't use BKB when he engaged there.
Yeah.
I think they come in from behind. They know that the threats in this fight are getting caught by stuns. And if he is in BKB there, their fight is over. Like, this fight was pretty close for Liquid, and they got nothing out of Queen of Pain. Basically took a Shackle Shot together with an ally and just died getting no spells off. They didn't even get Grip off either. And they still get a 5 for 3. Like, that just speaks to how much damage Ember managed to accomplish outputting in that fight. And just a little bit extra would have been an easy cleanup. So Fata's having a couple of weird mistakes in this game. I mean, he's still 8-4 and 13. It's kind of weird. He's had the biggest plays and the biggest mistakes, all in all, so a little bit inconsistent. Just needs to get one solid play off in a fight like that, and it's starting to look really, really liquidy. But now, all of a sudden, closing in on a 0 gold lead.
I'm loving this Lotus Orb build for the Night Stalker. Not only being able to remove the sounds, but you're also talking about certain abilities that just can't go into Lotus Orb at all. Fiend's Grip being a great example, just instantly gets taken out. You can clear through the chains as well. I think the cleansing factor is going to be just as big as the reflecting.
I think the cleansing is bigger.
Yeah.
I think what he really wants to do is he wants to cleanse the Orchid on one of his defensive supports, or the Global. If you can cleanse the Global on your Dazzle, it's a guaranteed save. And of course, in addition to that, as you mentioned, it also keeps you safe from Grip, but not really that likely that he can cast that with the perfect timing against the Jarek's Bane here. But I'm with you. I think it's a really great choice here. And this is the beauty of Night Stalker in this game. When you have a Wind Ranger and a Slardar, the Night Stalker actually has a lot of damage without damage items, just because of the Amplify, so he doesn't have to itemize damage. I think in a lot of games I would be skeptical about going this utility-ish of a build. Urn, Ags, and Lotus, but as long as they extend the fights and keep their heroes safe, they actually definitely have the damage to get the job done. This is a big moment, by the way. Good rocket from Mind Control, though.
Smoke up Team Liquid. They're hoping to be able to catch 4CNL. Playing it very patiently, though, because they are going into nighttime. As soon as that smoke pops and the Night Stalker's around, they'll be spotted. And they might not be able to get the initiation they're really looking for. It's the superior vision of the Night Stalker that's going to set so much of these fights, especially if they're coming up the staircase here. It's going to be dangerous. 4CNL will actually start backing themselves away. Global Sounds gets popped, and 60 Bambo just playing behind that Centaur as best as possible to make sure the hook shot does miss. Now they jump in for Swift Ending. They're going to go for Matumba Man first. They almost lock it down with the Shackle Shot, but it doesn't quite lash. Now a big Sonic Wave hits 4, but it looks like Team Liquid just full disengaged right now as Matumba Man is no longer here in the fight. Curl's going to be left behind. Jump forward. Actually, Swift Ending gets a stun under Mind Control. He's going to be comboed up, but he gets the Shellgrave saved, and Shackle Shot on the left-hand side. Matumba Man is going to be going down. He's silenced up as well. There's no escape for him. And Team Liquid, they put everything in one basket in that smoke gank during nighttime. They get spotted out by the frontline Night Stalker, and it all goes bad from there. I mean, it could have gone so much worse, so much faster with the Shackle Shot.
That's what I was going to say. I think Liquid, as weird as this sounds, they should be happy with a 3-for-1. Because honestly, the Global was completely wasted. There was no engage. I understand where Kuro is coming from, that he feels like, okay, they're engaging, or they spotted out of smoke, we're going to get opened on. But whatever could have come out in the duration before he globals, I think is not dangerous enough for him to immediately pop a global. And if they do that, they need to get the hell out of there. Like, they use global on nothing. They set up into a Night Stalker that has superior vision. And of course, they get to get the opening with Slardar, who also had a BKB for that fight. That might have taken Liquid by surprise, I'm not sure. If that Shackle Shot hits Ember, they get completely rolled over.
Yeah.
So, ouch. This is probably a Roche, too.
What a great double damage rune for Pycat, but we do have plenty of long-range contests for Team Liquid.
They're waiting for their Slardar. This is a very... This is basically the moment where if 4CL win a fight, they get ahead in the game for the first time.
Yeah. I mean, I really like 4CNL's fighting power right now, but I'm not sure about them taking a fight around Roshan. Specifically, them trying to do Roshan, because you have the initiation of the Clockwork and the Ember Spirit.
They need to be very fast on that initiation, by the way.
Yeah.
This is going quickly, but...
Matumba Man has the Spirit set out. Swift Ending already taking some damage. Hookshot in. They're going to go for Swift Ending first, trying to lock him down. Matumba Man waiting on his time. Force Staff away. And now the committal into the Aegis, but they've already picked up the cheese at the very least. The Aegis on the deck, it looks like. Swift Ending will be able to pop the cheese, and they pick up the Aegis. Vada managed to take that one away. Pycat's going to be the target as a Fiend's Grip. Shellgrave to be able to buy him some time. Matumba Man locked down by Swift Ending right now. They're going to try and finish him up with the amplified damage, but oh, he's actually locked down with the Winter's Curse. They take out the Ember Spirit. They'll clean up Mind Control next. Force Staff away. Sleep goes down. Jarek being able to buy him some time. Push back. 60 Bambo can't quite get to him until the long-range nukes claps him in the end. EGM held in by the Orca, but they need to turn and go for 60 Bambo instead. Help out their buddy Jarek, who needs to pop the Glimmer Cape in order to get away. But the the silence. He's actually keeping it. The Shackle comes in from Pycat. He goes on to Fada. Fada blinks himself away. Gets the kill on the Night Stalker, but he can't retrieve the gem. And Team Liquid may even lose Fada here. Jump forward. Pycat sees him, runs him down with a wind run. Orca goes out, but that's not going to change anything. He's just going to be run down. Right click, blinks away just to the side. Power shot. Not going to land. And Fada escapes, but Team Liquid get wiped in the process. They got the Aegis, but that beautiful shackle shot from Pycat after the buyback. It feels like a win for 4CNL, but they had to blow 2 different buybacks for that. So, yes, they're going to get objectives, but if Team Liquid can take advantage of the fact that those buybacks are on cooldown, that could still end up being an overall big picture win for Team Liquid.
I don't think that was good enough for 4CNL to call it a win.
Yeah.
I think they still effectively lose gold, and that bottom tier 2 tower isn't that important for map control at this point. I just want to say, again, imagine, I feel like I'm saying this after every single fight, like, imagine if, but what if they got the Aegis there? Like, the fight is completely different. Like, the only reason Liquid win that fight is that they steal the Aegis with Fata. Else they get run over, because Swift Ending would have got both the Aegis and the cheese. Of course, they need to... That's one of those things you just need to prepare, right? You're like, okay, this is the third Roshan, there's going to be an Aegis and cheese. Yeah. Either you need to have 2 slots or you need to have 2 heroes in the pit to get it. Or, at the very least, you need to get the Aegis over the cheese and be very careful that that is what you claim. Yeah,
do you think the Kongs might have actually kind of bugged out the Aegis and they weren't able to click it?
I mean, you panic like shit in that moment, too. Like, what are you going to do? You just have to immediately just start spam clicking the ground and hope for the best, but... It's easy to be kept in hindsight when it all goes down, but it is a very tense moment for both teams. Oh,
the vision constantly being lost by Team Liquid. This Night Stalker Axe, I mean, this is really the beautifully... The Night Stalker late game, right, isn't that powerful. The silence loses some of its effectiveness. Your nukes are not really that big of a deal, but it's just the vision that means so much more in this late game.
In late game, getting the jump and forcing a buyback is effectively a 3,000 gold swing. So... That means every time he accomplishes that, he's almost paid for his axe with 1 kill, right? So it is definitely very, very important.
So the refresher, not a right-click build. The Aghanim Scepter, I figured, okay, you can still, like, at least it's a decent amount of stats. The ultimate's, you know, still very valuable, so I can still see an AC build after that. But he actually doubles down on the magic, and I'm sure, like, Scythe of Ice is going to be his next item just to work well with that refresher.
It's between that and the Shivas. I'm actually surprised Fata didn't go for an item with armor this game. Either... So what were we talking about? We were talking Kiras or Shivas, I think.
Those are the 2 different ones.
Of limiting the output of the Slaughter's amplify damage by a lot. Both of them are good, because one gives armor aura, and the other one gives minus attack speed aura, both of which would be so good against 4CNL's lineup, I feel.
Liquid, they're going to be found here again. It's nighttime. Swift Ending tries to jump on a Fada, manages to get off the BKB, still bashed up. Matumba Man plays around with 60 Bamboo. They've got him locked inside the cogs. They do manage to get off the Shallow Grave the last second, and they're all grouped up as well. Pycat, he may be able to get off a really good, nice Winter's Curse, and now the Shackle Shot comes in, takes out Jarek, focusing on Kuroki. Now the jump in, Swift Ending's going to be taken out by that Sonic Wave, and Pycat doesn't have the time to commit for that silencer support. Matumba Man, he gets the long-range fist chains combination. Pycat turns, the damage is too much! And now, he force steps away, but he will go down in the end. Still, he made his trade-off worth it, gets the Ember Spirit, and it looks like Team Liquid, they're still going to be hunted down by 4CL. Sexy Bamboo moving forward with the Invis, just keeping vision of mind control as he separates himself from his allies. Will turn now, going on to Kuroki. Fada's right in the middle of this, but he actually has very little mana. Looks like they will be able to get the silencer with the help of that poison from the Dazzle. And Force Staff over, EGM gets himself the Glimmer Cape. He's buying himself time. Fada's right clicks just simply are not doing enough. Courier comes in, instantly dies. They got the Vlads on mind control, but is it going to change his fight? Another Sonic Wave, and now the Dazzle goes down. With the help of the Orchid, maybe they can turn on his Sexy Bamboo. He's got all that movement speed, and now the hookshot comes in with a Shadow Strike. Sexy Bamboo will go down as well, and the gem so critical in making sure they can keep some vision up. Team Liquid just seem to be finding all the openings in these late game team fights despite nasty starts.
This game is absolutely nuts. I don't know what to say anymore. The reason Liquid... I actually thought 4CNL were going to be happy with that. We got a 2-for-2 engage. We forced out a Refresher Orb on the Queen of Pain. I think they traded core support for core support or something similar tier. So the fight was pretty even. And then they're like, okay, they've used 2 Sonic Waves. The Queen of Pain is really weak right now. We can run for mind control. It takes them so long to kill him because Slaughter and Windrange aren't there. They're 2 damage dealers. Wait, who was there actually? Yeah, Slaughter and Windrange were out.
Yeah, they're big damage dealers. It's just Night Stalker, which we said, you know, is losing its effectiveness as a damage dealer.
So long. They got 3 Sonic Waves off.
Yeah.
I mean,
hook shot in. They found Swift Ending. They can't afford to lose him. BKB pops the Sonic Wave. Pure damage still goes to work. Fiend's Grip controlling him, but mind control is locked in as well. Pycat's going to make short work of him while the Cold Embrace keeps Swift Ending doing all right. And Pycat's actually going to look for more here, see if they can catch out at least one more. Oh, Fada just ahead of Swift Ending. TP away, Jarek's Winter's Curse will find him. And they'll turn for that additional pickoff.
Someone is winning this game right now.
And you're just not quite sure who.
I honestly have no idea what's going on.
Seems like every single time a team gets an advantage and they try and push that advantage, well, they end up kind of losing control, right? The push through middle lane from 4CNL earlier. This bottom lane push from Team Liquid, not a fan.
Both teams are just very good defensively. I think that's the problem, that even a one-hero advantage is not necessarily enough. And to me, one of the things that Liquid has suffered from when they've tried to make the aggressive plays is that the global silence timing from Kuroki in this game, I don't think he's satisfied with it himself, because it's always either he uses it too early, like the fight we saw quite a bit earlier around the Radiant Woods where they panic and get scared that they're getting jumped on out of their own smoke, and he globals too early. And then there's these situations where the global comes out after the response from 4CL. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to hookshot in, you want to isolate a target, start killing it, and then you global. So you secured that one kill, and then you can read the fight from there. Should we disengage or engage? Instead, the global silence comes out onto after the Slaughter has been Cold Embraced and Shackle Shot has come out on the Clockwork. So they negated enough damage for that global to not have an effect, and they just find 2 kills off the back of it instead. I don't know if Kuro was dead or had cooldown on global, else I just think the timing's just... Like, those 2 seconds on global make the world of difference in this game. It's really, really close.
We do have, we've got AC being built by our Night Stalker, by the way. So he is actually going to go for a little bit more right-click build. I kind of expected that on Slardar, but I guess with the Armlet build, you're kind of limited on slots now. So he might be opting for... I mean, what does a Slardar go for if it's not AC? Do you go something like Heart? Just try and tank up a bunch?
I'm wondering if Satanic would be the right choice. I definitely think he needs to find some sort of way of tanking up. And if he's not getting the AC, which it does, like you say, look like Bambo is, it could still technically be a Mjolnir and they can get the AC on the Slaughter, but... Yeah, I think that's a good call, honestly. The either Heart or Satanic, probably the best choices. You just need to survive all the damage output of Liquid and win the drawn-out fights with Weave and all your heals.
I feel like 4CNL would be in a great position if their Slardar was just like 2k gold ahead, and he was able to go for the AC, but he's actually currently behind the Night Stalker, and it's only that fight bottom lane that actually kind of bumped up his net worth a bit.
The other thing is, we haven't looked too much at the graphs in this game, but just the gold graph has never been more than a 7,500 lead for the Dire. They've had an experience lead of about 15k, but I feel like it's dangerous to look at the gold in this game as well. Like you've got so much net worth on the Queen of Pain, and its relative strength to other heroes with the same net worth is it's difficult to assess right now. Obviously, the 2 Sonic Waves are great, but at the same time, you just... Right now, I think 4CL could be twice as far behind on gold as they are, and they could win a fight 5-0 with the right jump. It's all about the engage, and the vision of Night Stalker is worth way more than almost than all of his his other items combined. It's all about the intel.
I completely agree with you on like the fact that Team Liquid, even the Amber Spirit, right? Like he's one of those heroes that can have a completely, very high net worth and still very easily have no impact in a team fight if he's just the one who's locked down first, because he's always going to be so fragile, no matter what kind of build you go for.
Matumba, man, you just spoke of him. If he gets Blink shackled here, he's in a lot of trouble.
Sexy Bambo.
Or Blink crushed. There's a good ward, though. They're trying to avoid the vision of this ward. This is a great play from 4CL, but I think, Liquid know they're up to snuff anyway. No one is in any lanes. They pop Darkness.
They'll still try and force it, and they turn.
They're sticking around.
Oh, mind control. Jump in. They're going to go for Kuro first. Try and take out that global silence. He gets the defensive sleep, and maybe Kuro, yes, he can still get it off. The Queen of Painter's already taken out the Wind Ranger. That's a huge win with Swift Ending. Locked in on the side. It's just going to be disastrous for 4CNL as Winter's Curse goes off, but where's the damage dealer? He's burning. Oh, Matumba, man, just barely gets away. He's actually going on AGM now. He's got to be careful. Only 200 HP. Even the supports could take him out, but he does manage to get some distance, and AGM will go down. TP out is complete for Winter Wyvern. But they got the big 2 damage dealers, so the Wind Ranger just was gone instantly thanks to the Sonic Wave in part from the Queen of Pain, and then that Slardar locked into a very nasty position, partly thanks to Jarek's and his great response with the defensive sleep.
I think the play in this game is to not engage.
It really is. Seems like every single time a team is engaging in a fight, it goes bad for them.
I thought that was
despite
going to be
traditional logic.
I did think that was going to be a really good fight for 4CL, and I'm not sure how Pycat instantly died like that. Did he get double Sonic Wave plus a crit from Ember or something? Because they Blink crushed the Silencer. I think it's a very juicy target, disallowing him from getting the Globe Loft, but like you said, great defensive Nightmare. Still, I was missing Pycat in that fight. He did nothing. He popped BKB and died immediately after, getting absolutely nothing off. No Shackle Shot, no Focus Fire damage, just vanished.
Yeah, we're taking a look at Team Liquid and going, oh yeah, these carries can, you know, no matter how much net worth that they have can have no impact in team fight if they just get locked down. But the same is true for 4CL with that Wind Ranger. Fada, who's completed his AC, trying to catch up to Sexy Bambo, but obviously the Lotus Orb removing the slow, and it's nighttime too. So, and if anything, Fada maybe shouldn't stick around so much. A lot of members of 4CL up in this top lane. Do they still have a gem on the side of 4CL?
Yes, they do. Bambo didn't die.
Okay.
Oh. Well.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Seen this
Should they go?
before.
I mean, I don't know. They're fighting into Aegis
We've got
and Cheese,
the double
so
damage, guys.
all Dota laws dictate that if they engage right now, they probably lose the fight against Aegis and Cheese. But you know what? This game has not followed the regular rules of Dota, so they don't care, and they're going to go for it.
Shackle Shot, BKB activated by Fada. He's going to be global silence up, and they're actually going to control Pycat. Fiend Scrape on the left-hand side, going on to Sexy Bambo. Fada turns, and Swift Ending is in a nasty position here. Just going to be run down by Matumba Man. Swift Ending is going to turn onto Matumba Man, but can't get the bashes. The damage is too much. And Sexy Bambo trying to get away from Jarex. The silence will wear out soon, and he'll be able to get a sleep. Looks like EGM is just going to turn and embrace his fate in a way. At the very least, the Slard, the Night Stalker does escape with the gem.
Okay, this time there was some logic to what happened, but
the BKB reaction from Fada has been really nice this game.
It seems like the really determining factor is whether Pycat gets a Shackle Shot. And that was a very awkward position because the angles that you would usually go for on a Shackle Shot there involve him blinking in aggressively and catching Fata off guard. And then the turn rate becomes a problem because he blinks from below. So you need to blink from below, then turn, and then Shackle. That gives Fata an extra half a second to react. And that's enough. So I don't think the play there is to engage with the Wind Ranger. You have to blink Crush with Slaughter.
Yeah.
That should actually be faster in that moment, and you get the fight. Now, Liquid feel confident.
Yeah, Team Liquid, still 2 heroes down for another 25 seconds. They say, let's force the fight. Famous last words, it seems, for this game. This is going to be where Team Liquid get into a bit of trouble. They don't have the greatest high ground. It's really going to be Fada most of the time on the front lines with that AC. But even he's pretty susceptible to these nukes. The harassment comes down from Matumba Man. But they can't actually commit to the range tracks with the Slaughter coming back up. So Team Liquid back themselves away.
You know what 4CL should have done in this game?
What's that?
I think they should have bought a Lance on the Night Stalker instead of going for the Kiras and then letting Slaughter try it still.
Yeah.
I think that 5 AoE armor against the Ember Spirit and just the lifesteal in general for the long duration of these fights would make a really big difference for them. It's a great hero to have on a team with Wind Ranger too, who's struggling to survive long enough. If she gets a Focus Fire and a Shackle off, the amount she can actually heal with just the Vlad's lifesteal is really good. They're kind of missing it in their arsenal, and now that he's getting the AC, maybe you could get it on the Slaughter. I just think it's incredible value right now, or maybe someone like the Dazzle or the Wyvern could get it, or even the Night Stalker I already mentioned. So
yeah, they don't have Guardian Greaves on the side of 4CL.
That's true.
That's another big one. I mean, just the mech naturally. It's going to be nice, but oh, Fada, he's been real quick on his reaction. Left-hand side, though, they'll go on to EGM with the Global Sounds. It should be a quick kill on this support as a Glimmer Cape. Oh, not enough to keep him alive. And 4CL left to fight this one 4 versus 5, but there is no Global Sounds. They might try and full retreat into the trees. Now turning onto Fada, see if they can lock him down with a Shackle Shot. They do get it. Fada's dead. Now a 4 versus 4 continues. Left-hand side of the trees. 4CL still have good vision. Mind control gone in, but Bycat, he just pops the BKB, turns Winter's Curse on him. Matumba Man, they're going to try and lock him down. Swift Ending, pops the BKB. Matumba Man managed to make the jump over to the right-hand side. They're going to try and chase him down, though. Swift Ending running him down the urn, but there's the potential double chains out from Matumba Man. They'll get them both with Fada cleaning up those kills. 4 for what, nothing? That was, no, they got Fada with the buyback.
Got buyback, but that's really, really good for them right there. And that's the issue that they have playing against Fata with Boots of Travel. The moment he buys back and starts putting in when Fata arrives there, the fight is actually lost.
Yeah.
He has everything in his arsenal available. They have Shackle Shot already used. Focus Fire, of course. It's a 15-second cooldown, which is really short for an ultimate, but it's enough. Like, the Wind Ranger's damage output is super dependent on having Focus Fire available, and with that used, the buyback coming out, it's just too easy for Liquid.
The fact that he couldn't like instantly kill Mind Control when he was trapped inside the cogs and he popped the BKB was pretty disconcerting. You were looking at Wind Ranger just had no impact at that point.
Double buybacks being expended though.
And Team Liquid, are they really going to stick around? They know Pycat hasn't bought back, and at this point, he either doesn't have a buyback or they're really committing for the next 20 seconds. Matama Man. Oh, Dojo. Oh, he's just gone. He's going to be taken out immediately. Now the fight rages on underneath the center. Cogs. Svana's already gotten off one good ultimate. Sexy Bambo. The silence does go down, but they finish off the Slaughter. He blinks forward, gets the Night Stalker as well. And it's only the supports who start backing themselves away. Ember Spirit will buy back. This is Team Liquid going all in for this one. They'll get at least the laner ranks, but they can probably go middle as well, knowing that those heroes don't have buyback, and it's only going to be a Wind Ranger as your damage dealer for 4CNL. And I just don't see how they're going to be able to actually take a fight.
I still got to be careful. Oh, Pycat thought he was going to land that Shackle. That could have been big. They're aggressively woven, and the Curse could be a problem.
Winter's Curse, but they don't really have a good Focus Fire with it as well. The Defensive Nightmare is out, and now the supports are in a bad position. Fada will clean up the Winter Wyvern. Hook shot catches EGM as well. The support, well, it's only the Winter Wyvern who buys back, but again, it doesn't really matter without the Winter's Curse. This is going to be Team Liquid taking Mega Creeps, and 4CNL can do nothing but watch.
Yeah, this is the end of the game. It took a very long time and costed a lot of buybacks before this actually happened, but this is so crazy. You know, we're sitting here watching the game, and we're not completely sure what's going on. If you're playing in this situation, it does just become very chaotic, but I think you had a really good point about itemization. I think Greaves definitely missing. It's a way of purging silence for one of the supports naturally. I think they could have got it on either of them. Or they could have got duels to try to serve the same purpose, perhaps. Then we also had the Vlads that I mentioned. I think either Slaughter or Night Stalker should have got. But more than anything, it's just, I don't know if those items would have been enough. I think it could have helped. But it was more about the decision making, and at the end of the day, it's about who's most clutch. Shackle shots and crushes versus the defensive abilities of Liquid, and Liquid just outskilled them a bit toward the later fights.